So thank you, Taylor, for coming on today and taking your time out. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Really appreciate you taking your time out. You take some wonderful photos. I've come across you a couple different ways, but definitely your portraits and style really came out. Can you talk about that? I know you specialize in portrait photography. What is that? How does it compare to other types?
Um, so I started out for my career doing straight portraits, like I would do headshots or business headshots or modeling headshots or any type of portrait I would get into, and um, I think that kind of helps me be able to see different types of emotions within sports photography, within Muay Thai, within jujitsu or whatever I'm shooting. Um, Specifically, because I enjoy trying to pull emotion out of each situation that I'm in. Because when I'm with the guys and they're sparring and they're training for a fight or something like that, they're going really hard, and they're putting their all into each round or whatever they're doing, and I like to try to capture that. And with sports and action photography, it's kind of quick, but that moment when they stop, when they take a breather, and they've just successfully done, their drill right, or they've one upped on whoever they're sparring against. It's like it's a specific look that they get in their eyes. It's like accomplishment and satisfaction, and I like to capture things like that, and things that ordinary people won't see. I try to pull out through emotions, especially with these young fighters.
hmm Yeah, well, I definitely think you're doing a good job of it because it
Appreciate
comes
it.
out. It definitely comes out. Do you feel like that, the capturing of that emotion happens a lot in the world of combat sports and Muay Thai, or do you think it's not as common? Do you think it's very common in other sports? How do you feel about it?
I think it's common within all sports, for sure, especially in combat sports, um, because they work so hard months and months before, like, say that they have a fight or something like that, and literally blood, sweat, and tears, literally, that these guys, that they put into their craft. So when they do win, when they do finally get a belt or win a trophy or something like that, they literally let it all out. And I like to be there in those moments to capture that. Some of them cry, some of them are yelling, some of them, say things, but that actually gives me a high satisfaction when I'm able to capture that for them, because I think when they're in that moment, it's kind of like everything's kind of moving pretty fast for them. But when they're able to look at the pictures that I've taken of them after the fact, they're like, "Wow, I was happy." And my interest is in preserving these moments for these people, because
Mhm,
it happens and then it's gone.
mhm,
People go on with their lives, people go back to work, people do things, but when you have a picture of that moment, maybe that was the happiest time in your life,
mhm.
you hold on to that, and you share that with your family, and you share that with your kids and their kids and things like that. So um, to me, it's very important to capture those moments. And I think me doing portraits before I got into sports and Muay Thai, I'm able to see it quicker.
Mm,
I'm able to find those moments, like when a fighter is getting ready to go on stage into the ring. I'm sorry, on stage into the ring for his fight. He's nervous as all hell,
mhm,
and I eat that up. I'm
mhm.
right there, just capturing all of it, because the eyes really are the window to your soul. You're able to see everything that guy or girl is thinking. You can physically see it on these people. So I try to capture that, so they can remember that. So they can remember what their mindset was in that moment before they stepped into the ring, or step into practice or whatever they're doing.
And what gyms have you shot out of? What locations have you done? Because you've done both gyms and venue, actual events. How have they differed? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my main gym is a Capital MMA in Dulles, Virginia. I shoot there like 3 times a week. I've
Oh,
also
very
shot
awesome.
with yeah, I love them. I've shot with Tag Muay Thai there in I think Sterling. I think they moved to Sterling. One of the it's nearby. And through them I've shot with other gyms. Like they would go around to different gyms and teach. And through them, I've actually got to work with Cosmo, as you guys shared yesterday. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um, Kunsak and Anderson Silva. So I've gotten to work with and meet some of the, you know, the great people in in the industry. So um, I also have worked with this group of personal trainers and boxers out of Alexandria, Virginia. It's called Hit Hard Training.
Mhm.
They combine hit and boxing, and it's just a great environment, great people. But it's boxing. So stepping into that after doing Muay Thai, it was kind of like weird for me at first,
Mhm.
but it's pretty cool. Some local events. There's a company called TCB.
Mhm.
They put on Thai Championship Boxing. They put on local events for local Muay Thai fighters and Cagezilla for the MMA fighters.
Mhm.
So I'm looking to do more, looking to shoot more. Obviously, and get my name out there a little bit more.
Mhm.
But I mean, Capital is home team. Those
Mhm.
guys are awesome. I see those guys every single week. They know me, I know them, and kind of like a little mini family. Like we've all become really good friends. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, if you're
yeah,
shooting out there 3 times a week, that is very, very often. Um,
yeah,
that's good though, that's how you're gonna build the connections to grow your career and or
right,
build a very, very successful portfolio. Um,
yeah.
how would you say shooting some of these, obviously you have a home location, how would you compare shooting at, say, Capitol to shooting the local events or shooting at some of the other gyms that you've shot at?
As far as the atmosphere, like the fighters, or
The atmosphere, the technical aspects as well, I
yeah. So
it's up to you basically.
yeah, so it's different. Each gym has a different atmosphere, different people, different way of doing things. Both of the gyms and on all of the people that I shot with, it's 3 different ways of doing things. Lighting is the most important thing. So I'm able to communicate that well with the gyms, and then they're able to accommodate me and help accommodate me. But it's a different environment. You have one side, they might focus more on the technical side of the sport, working on small little things, small drills. And then you have another one, that focuses on something completely different.
Mhm.
I would say they're night and day between all the 3 organizations that I would work with. One's more focused on the fitness aspect of maybe lifestyle changing and making sure that you're on the right track, right path of nutrition and things like that. And one of the other gyms is teaching you the basics, and making sure that you're eating right and living right and really into Muay Thai as a whole.
Mhm. And how, because you've done work with, this hit boxing and also Muay Thai and then, your own portrait work, how would you say Muay Thai differs from other sort of styles of shooting?
Oh man, it's very, very fast paced,
Hmm.
and I'm always moving and I'm always changing my settings. Um, if I take a step to the left or to the right, sometimes depending on the lighting, I'm constantly changing my settings to kind of like accommodate for the light, or make sure I'm in the right position. And when I'm doing portraits, it's 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 simple. It's easy, it's straightforward. You have your model, you set up your light, you adjust your settings once, you dial them in, you know what it's going to be, and that's it. It's simple. But with action and sports, you are everything changes. It's quick. You have to be on your toes at all times. You are moving. 9 times out of 10, if you're able to move, you are moving because these guys are moving very quickly within a small space. So and it's fun that way because you really never know. You never really know what you're gonna get. Like if I'm at an event, and if I can move, I will move. To kind of be in the best spot to get the right angle with these guys. And I would say that that's different. It's just a lot quicker. You got to be on your toes versus just shooting portraits. You tell your model to pose, and then they stay there. That's it. But yeah.
Yeah, fighters are not necessarily posing in the ring.
They are not, unless they win something. They got the belt, and they're gonna pose then maybe. But yeah, no, they're not posing.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously I think you're very skilled at what you do. But
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, are there still things that you wish you knew more about, or what are areas that you think you could still develop on?
Absolutely. I'm never not learning, and I'm not done. I don't consider myself someone who's perfect at this. I'm always trying to hone my craft and be better at what I do. Um, as as far as mediums, I would actually like to get more into film photography. There's this one photographer out in LA, Jeff Dogio. I probably butchered his name.
Go Helio.
But
Go Helio.
Oh, you know Jeff. Okay, you know Jeff. He is just amazing at film and all mediums, really. And he pretty much has inspired me to want to pick up a film camera and explore that avenue a little bit more. Specifically, when he shoots the artists that he works with in Muay Thai, I think it brings a cool vibe, to what he does. But also, it's a cool format to work with. I want to get into that a little bit more, and definitely experiment with some other gyms as well.
And the world of Muay Thai is definitely growing, but and the business of the sport is growing. There's becoming more photographers in the sport, and to some degree that they're more able to live off of it to some degree. But what do you think needs to be developed for more photographers to sort of build a business or a lifestyle, or off the sport?
I think we need to build community over competition more so. And I think that we need to have more opportunities for photography mentorships. Like I'll have some people, in my inbox asking me, how do you get started? How do you get into this? How do you work into gyms? How you do this? And just like, sheesh, my answer is kind of straightforward and into how I got into it. But I think it should be easier for people to get into it, even at the hobby level. Some gyms, if you reach out to them, they won't give you time of day, or maybe they already have someone, which I understand that. I think it should be easier for people to get into this field, and essentially when you have more photographers that are shooting Muay Thai, that's only going to help the sport.
Yeah.
Excuse me, especially here in America, where I feel like it could be bigger than what it is right now. The more people that you have into it, but again, just mainly more opportunities to learn, to learn from people who have been doing this for a long time, and people who are just getting into it, also just to give them opportunities to help grow it and learn, and also networking, capabilities. Just an easier avenue. I find that sometimes it's challenging to get your foot in the door, because certain venues. I know, they want to deal with certain people that they know have a good relationship with. But I also feel like we definitely need to start giving others opportunities as well,
Mhm.
and maybe take someone under your wing, take them with you to a show or to an event or
Mhm.
to practices or other gyms to show them the ropes if they're interested. Unfortunately, with COVID, I have been unable to do that myself.
Right.
You know, have someone tag along with me
Mhm.
in the past year, because I had the opportunity last year, but you know, couldn't
Mhm.
bring the person up. So
Well, hopefully that changes. I wanted to keep this short because I know you're very busy. But where can people find you? How can they reach out to you and follow along with your work and or support you?
yeah, Instagram is the best way to contact me. It's at from Taylor underscore at the end. And if you go there, it'll link you to my email, link you to my website, everything. I think it has my phone number, but don't call me unless you're serious about shooting. But yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Taylor. I really appreciate it and look forward to seeing more of your work in the future.
appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Please like, comment, subscribe, and share.